We're currently 3.5 months into the wipe, and around this time majority of the player base has lost interest in the game. And the only people playing currently are content creators, streamers and new players who are learning the game. This is something that happens every wipe, but with every wipe, let's just say the strength of this phenomena drastically increases. This is totally evident from the fact that you will see even less content creators and streamers playing Tarkov right now. Why is this happening? The biggest reason is the community has gotten bored of Tarkov, and until there is some new content update, they have decided not to touch the game. Just the other day I went to a factory raid to enjoy some PvP, and what was shocking to me was that I was alone. It was a Sunday evening, and on top of that I was playing Singapore server, which is a really populated server. So if raids are dead and there is less PvP, and the PvP that we find is new players, then any veteran player will definitely lose interest in the game. Also, the repetitive nature of the quest makes it such that every wipe, players will stop playing Tarkov a bit sooner than the last wipe. At this rate, I will say the life of a wipe is around 3 months, and after that the game is basically in the dying phase. There's another major reason why people stop playing the game mid-wipe, and that is cheaters. A lot of players quit the game once they realize how bad the cheater situation is, and that is it for them. This is mainly true for the new players, as they are the ones who are mostly impacted by cheaters. Anyone playing Tarkov since a few wipes has already accepted this reality and has adapted to it. Now the good thing for us players is that finally in 2024 we might see some competition in the extraction shooter space. Up till 2024, the situation was that Tarkov was the only successful extraction shooter. Many came like Cycle Frontier or DMZ, but none of them came anywhere close to Tarkov. But in 2024 things might be different. The crowd is mad hungry, and this is totally evident from the hype that is building around Grey Zone Warfare. I'm particularly interested in that game. The graphics and realism of Unreal Engine 5 is out of the box, looking superior to any game that we have played so far. What is of concern to me that this game is a player v environment versus player game. The times you run into other PMC is going to be extremely less as compared to that in Tarkov. Now for me, the success of Grey Zone totally depends on how interesting the gameplay loop is, and how many unique situations can the game offer, and how well do they deal with cheaters. Since we all are extraction shooter lovers and have already had the taste of Tarkov, will this game be able to satisfy this hunger? The expectations are really high, and we will soon find out. It's not just Grey Zone Warfare, but a few big developers like Bungie, who are behind the big titles like Halo and Destiny, have taken interest in this extraction shooter genre. Though we don't have a lot of information yet, but the expectations are certainly high from Marathon. Another game that has certainly caught the attention of gamers is Arc Raiders. Being developed by the same studio behind the finals, is going to be a free-to-play title which is going to focus on PvP and is an extraction shooter. Everything looks good, but personally for me, the third-person gameplay is a bit turn-off, but if everything done right, this could be a huge title. There are a few other upcoming extraction shooters who I purposefully have left out of this video, as I have only mentioned the ones who look the most promising. But there have been a lot of examples, especially recently, where games like Palworld and Helldivers 2 have risen from almost nothing to the top in just a matter of few days. And then there have been games like The Day Before, which looked promising and the community was really hyped and ended up being a total disaster. So anything is possible. Now this does not mean that the days of Tarkov will soon be over. For Tarkov, we will soon see the final release of the game, possibly by the end of the year, which is going to be the December wipe if everything goes according to plan. And Nikita has already mentioned that a lot of content which is not yet disclosed has been kept purely for the release, which is a really good thing. And after the main game is released, there is going to be 2 profiles in Tarkov, one main account without wipes and a prestige system, and then a seasonal account with wipes. My only hope is that Nikita knows what he is doing. As to me, splitting the community into 2 versions of Tarkov sounds like a really bad idea, just like how Arena was a bad idea. If the final release is not going to have any wipes and a prestige system, then BSG will have to figure out how to keep the game alive after the first 3 months. I'm sure playing Tarkov's quest on loop and the so-called finally escape Tarkov to increase the prestige multiple times is not the solution to this problem. I can just hope BSG has already figured all of this out. The competition from upcoming extraction shooters is really a good thing for us gamers, and also should be a motivation to BSG that should make them improve Tarkov majorly in two aspects, and that is performance and dealing with cheaters, which I'm sure they are working on as we speak. There is a lot of hope from the Unity version update, which according to BSG is going to help them solve both these problems. Let's hope they don't postpone this again. I really love this game and I want Tarkov to succeed after release and keep growing with new content and improvements. But because of the rising competition and from the recent knowledge that we have about the financials of Battle State game and the addition of microtransactions in the game, the future of Tarkov could be a bumpy road. As for me, I'm going to post less Tarkov content because there isn't anything exciting happening at Tarkov right now, and just like you, I feel burned out too. There'll be new content if there are some good events or updates. I'm trying to make a living out of content creation and streaming, and this phase is hard for me, but this is the reality and I have to accept it. Now I have a special something for all the Tarkov lovers, that is a desire converted into a piece of art. You can go and get this one for yourself in the merch store, link is in the description, and I'll see you in the next one.